Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Teacher Tan. How are you? I hope you are all doing fine. Today we will learn about two simple words, could and couldn't. We will be focusing on what the words are, how to form, and when to use it. Let's get started. No matter what the subject is, I, you, we, they, he, she, it, the boy, the boys, could or couldn't must be combined with verbs in the base form. For example, I could play. That is an affirmative form or positive form. If I say she couldn't play, that is a negative form. Couldn't is contraction for could not. Let's look at some sentences. Positive form. I could play a guitar 10 years ago. She could play the tennis when she was 7 years old. They could play chess very well last year. Negative form. I couldn't play the tennis when I was 7 years old. She couldn't play the guitar 10 years ago. They couldn't play chess very well last year. In question form, no matter what the subject is, the question form is still the same. Okay? We just put the helping verb could before the subject, then plus our main verb in base form. For example, could you play? Could she play? For example, could you play a guitar 10 years ago? In short answer, yes, I could. Or no, I couldn't. Could she play tennis when she was 7 years old? Yes, she could. Or no, she couldn't. Could they play chess very well last year? Yes, they could. Or no, they couldn't. Did you get it? It's easy, right? Now, let's see when to use could or couldn't. Ability in the past. The first usage is pretty easy. Could is the past tense form of can. It refers to ability in the past. We use could to mean that we were able to do something in the past. For example, when I was in preschool, I could speak English. He could eat 4 plates of rice when he was young. They could already read at the age of 3. They could already read at the age of 3. Couldn't is the past tense form of cannot. It refers to inability in the past. We use couldn't to mean that we weren't able to do something in the past. For example, I couldn't cook until I went to university. I couldn't cook until I went to university. Jason couldn't swim until he was 10 years old. Jason couldn't swim until he was 10 years old. They couldn't play football 5 years ago. They couldn't play football 5 years ago. We also use could or couldn't to talk about the ability on a specific situation in the past. For example, I couldn't attend the talk due to illness. I couldn't attend the talk due to illness. Jason complained that he couldn't study because the class was so noisy. Jason complained that he couldn't study because the class was so noisy. She couldn't watch the match because she was working. She couldn't watch the match because she was working. We couldn't take photos in the museum because it was forbidden. Okay? We couldn't take photos in the museum because it was forbidden. They couldn't play football because the weather was rainy. They couldn't play football because the weather was rainy. We also use could to ask about the ability in the past. For example, could you write before you started school? Could you write before you started school? Could you ride a bike when you were small? Could you ride a bike when you were small? And could you use a computer when you were 10 years old? Okay, could you use a computer when you were 10 years old? Permission. Could is also used to ask for permission politely. Could is the past tense of can. However, when asking for permission, could does not have a past tense meaning. For example, could I use your bathroom, please? Excuse me, could I just say something? Could we go home now? Could I pay by credit card? More examples. Could I have a quick word with you? Something is important has happened. Could I play the computer games? Could I ask you a personal question? Could I ask you a personal question? Okay, we also use could or couldn't to give or refuse the permission. Look at these sentences. He could go to the playground. You could watch TV after completing your work. Sorry, you couldn't use my notebook. You couldn't play the computer games. Request. We also use could to make a request politely. For example, could you show me the way to the post office? Could you please pass me the paper? Could you please pass me the paper? Could you lend me this book? Could you lend me this book? More examples. Could you say it again more slowly? Could you say it again more slowly? Could you please switch off your handphone? Could you please switch off your handphone? Could you refrain from smoking in the restaurant? Could you refrain from smoking in the restaurant? Possibility. We often use could to express possibility in the present and the future. Look at these sentences. A lot of crime could be prevented. A lot of crime could be prevented. This vest could be very variable. This vest could be very variable. It could get much hotter in July. It could get much hotter in July. It could rain tomorrow. It could rain tomorrow. Extreme rain could cause the river to flood the villages. Extreme rain could cause the river to flood the villages. Suggestion. We use could to make suggestion. For example, you could give Alice some flowers. You could give Alice some flowers. You could try yoga or Pilates if you want to be healthier. You could try yoga or Pilates if you want to be healthier. You could quit or tell your boss directly if you are unhappy at your work. You could quit or tell your boss directly if you are unhappy at your work. Okay? And if someone asks, where are we going tonight? You can say, we could go to the cinema if you like. We could go to the cinema if you like. More examples. I could help you with English or mathematics. I could help you with English or mathematics. We could eat at home or at the restaurant by the seaside. We could eat at home or at the restaurant by the seaside. We could go to Hong Kong next vacation, or we could go to Singapore. We could go to Hong Kong next vacation, or we could go to Singapore. We could take the bus. He could take the bus or the subway. He could take the bus or the subway. Okay, that's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, share with your friends, and of course subscribe to my channel for more. Okay, happy studying. Bye.